Hello, everybody. Tony Gerdeman here from the Buckeye Weekly podcast. Got another breaking news edition for you as the Buckeyes have just landed a commitment from three-star defensive tackle Cameron Brickle. Brickle is attending IMG this year. He is rated the number 537 player overall in the 24/7 Sports Composite, the number 62 defensive lineman, and the number 76 player out of Florida. Originally from the Philadelphia area where he played at Malvern Prep, then transferred out to a California school for his sophomore year, then back to Malvern for his junior year, and then off to IMG for his senior year for three different places in 4 years, but never more than never the same spot twice in a row. Could have something to do with his ratings, frankly, but very decent offers. He was offered by Alabama, just for the people who are concerned about that. Took official visits to Penn State, Florida State, Maryland, and Ohio State, and today announced for the Buckeyes, giving them their second defensive tackle in 2 days in the 2026 recruiting class. Brickle is listed at 6'2", 305, and he certainly looks every bit of that. We'll go ahead and throw on some junior highlights for you. And as we'll just talk through them. You can see he's a big kid. There are times where he looks bigger than the 305 and times where he looks a little bit smaller, but he is basically the one tech that Ohio State was searching for in this class, at least in theory, because as we know with Larry Johnson, the guy that you think is going to be the nose tackle is often a three tech, and the guy that you think is going to be the three tech is often a nose tackle. Don't have to go much further than Robert Landers playing nose tackle for Ohio State at 5'11 and 280 pounds, or Mike Hall playing nose tackle for Ohio State at 6'2", 285, when next to him you have Tyleik Williams at 6'2", 6'3", 330 playing three tech. So he does his own thing, Larry Johnson, and mixes and matches pretty well. But with Cam Brickle, you got a powerful guy. See right here, he's actually playing some stand-up edge in a 3-4 or a three-down lineman alignment. But he's powerful and he's got some quickness and he got some lateral quickness to deal with some misdirections and things like that. So he'll retrace his steps pretty well. See him get into the backfield pretty good. And like I said, he's a powerful guy. And this is what Ohio State needs in terms of continuing to build the defensive line up front. So as I said, that's 2 defensive tackles in 2 days. Still not done. I don't know that it's going to be 3 in 3 days because Ohio State still is waiting on Jameer Perez from Glenville, which would give them 3 defensive tackles in this class, which is what they did last year too with Maxwell Roy, Trajan Odom, and Jarquez Carter. So that'll be 6 in 2 years, and we'll see how that works out for the Buckeyes as they try to find some guys that are not just roster occupiers, but playmakers and disruptors and difference makers. And they certainly like what they have with Cam Brickle. As I said, he is not just a run plugger. He's not just a blocker, occupies the offensive lineman. He is trying to disrupt. He is trying to create havoc in there. And he does a pretty good job. Even when he's being double teamed, he's still looking for the ball and he's still making work difficult for the offensive lineman. He's looking to get his hands up on a pass, whatever it takes. So he's alert and he's active and he's big and strong. And so very much everything that you would like from your defensive tackles. And we'll see what he does in IMG this year, because that's a pretty good step up. And not that, numbers are never going to be generally never great at IMG in terms of your stats, because you're rotating a lot, you're playing with a lot of different guys, and you're playing some really good competition. So it's going to be a unique environment for him. We'll see how he does there, see how he, how that prepares him for Ohio State. I think IMG does a good job of that, where it's basically college light when you're there. So when you do get to college, it's not as unfamiliar for you. And he'll have that experience of playing with guys that are going to be playing in college, playing against guys that are going to be playing in college. So the next level for him won't be as steep, as big of a jump. And so what does that mean for next year? Again, Ohio State's going to have a number of defensive tackles. And I apologize for already including Jameer Perez in this class. We'll see. Like, that's the assumption. And so if you've got 6 in a 2-year span, is Caden McDonald back next year? Ohio State certainly hopes so, but he's going to be draft eligible. And if he has a good year, that could be all it takes. And we know the guys behind Caden McDonald and Edric Houston on this year's team still waiting to produce and become reliable options for the Buckeyes. And frankly, they need that to happen this year, whether, we're talking Jason Moore, Will Smith, Eric Mensah. Like there's a number of guys that you're waiting for, you would like to see more from, and can they keep the 2026 class from being needed as much? Because there's just, you got a couple of guys at top and then a lot of unknowns, and frankly, everybody's unknown right now, but next year more people will be known. And then what do you need from the 2025 class? What do you need from the 2026 class? Because you're probably going to need something, and you'd rather get it from the 2026 class or the 2025 class, your Trajan Odom, your Maxwell Roy, your Jarquez Carter, than relying on a freshman. And they're in the same boat this year. They don't necessarily want to rely on freshmen, but they also know that that somebody's going to have to step up, and other guys are going to get the option, and they can't just, it's not just going to be a situation where they're playing the oldest guys. They're going to be playing the best guys, because the defensive line like that, you can't mess around. You've got to get some playing. You got to get some productivity. You've got to get some disruption. So there you go. Newest Ohio State commit, Cam Brickle, from the upcoming IMG Academy. 3-star guy. We'll see if his ratings go up, but once he's committed, there's probably no point in trying to pump that up. So he will be at Ohio State when he gets there. Again, as I said yesterday, generally all of these guys are, if they can, they're enrolling early. And I would expect Cam Brickle to do the same, though I have not been, that has not been confirmed. So there you go. There's Ohio State commitment, Cam Brickle. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. We would appreciate that. It helps other people see it. And of course, if you're out and about on the internet, you can find us at BuckeyeHuddle.com. We'll be talking about this, talking about what happened yesterday and what is going on the rest of the 2026 class. And it's going to be a big month Camp starts in about 4 weeks and 3 days for the Buckeyes. So we are also certainly talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes. You can find all of that at BuckeyeHuddle.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you all later.